Okay, hello there, hi. Welcome to demo time. I am Carionta, and today we're going to be looking at, I'm guessing these are vampires. So like, based on their colors, I know it's prejudice to say that they're vampires, they might not be. Whatever. Anyway, Scarlet Defiance, the wall between us. Demo contents subject to change. Oh, where did I go? Oh, that doesn't matter. So let's see what this is. It's a fantasy setting. There's a sword. There's two ladies. Hand hold. Yeah, that's what's sleepy. There's embracing. Just little smiles. It's adorable. It's sweet, and then there's gonna be some drama because they're like demons or vampires or something like that. Elves. They got the elf ears. At least one of them. Anyway, chapter 1. Brigada, Year Unknown. Alright. There's a moment in life. Oh, there's guns. Okay, so it's not a fantasy setting. It's just. Well, it is a fantasy setting, but it's not like medieval fantasy. Just whatever. Anyway, there is a moment in life when you realize you have fallen deeply in love with someone. For me, that moment is this one. Oh, you're narrating in the moment, eh? Alright. She's surrounded by the bodies of our enemies, a scarlet sea of endless corpses. Alright. Her glare disappears when she looks at me.
Are you alright?
Oh, there's voice acting. Oh no, I can't have that, sorry. I'm sure you did a great job, ladies and whatnot, but we can't have that. Wait. There's no... Oh. I know demos, usually people like showcase it, but like that's not how this channel works, so I'm gonna have to just see if that turns off their voice acting. I don't know. Well, that's... This is what, like... Yeah, I could have known if I had prepared for this, but that's not how this channel works. I don't prepare anything in advance. I don't know what this is. I know nothing. That's the whole point. She runs to my side, stepping between twisted arms and severed legs, past gaping mouths and lifeless eyes. Okay, that turned off. That's good. I'm sure they did a good job. Cool. I'm like, well done, voice actresses. Not how this works here. I replace all the English VO here. That's the whole point. Play the demo yourself if you want the original stuff. You know? If this interests you, then go do that instead. Because you're not getting that from me. That's not how this works here. I'm fine. You know, sometimes I think you forget I'm also a trained soldier. I gesture at the bodies around me. She shrugs. Well, you worry about me. Me. One of the strongest vampires of this generation. She is a vampire, okay. First instinct was correct, of course it was. Well, I mean, it's the red eyes and the pale skin and the overly, like, Victorian sort of design. And modest. Don't forget, modest. My attempt at humor doesn't seem to ease her concern, and she closed the distance between us, cupping my face in her hand. You humans are such fragile things. You break so easily. How am I not supposed to worry? Vlatka brushes her thumb across the cut on my cheek. Withdrawing her hand, she slides her tongue slowly across her finger. The action is so intimate that I can't suppress a shiver that runs down my spine, nor stop from blushing. I cough and try to change the subject. What are we going to do with all of them? Vlatka casts an unreadable glance at the bodies. Burying them would be ideal, or burning them to stop any disease, but I'm afraid we don't have time for that. Do you think they might be following us? They are following us, hence our last battle. I give her shoulder a gentle shove. Come on, darling, stop the teasing, I'm serious. I can't. Of course you can. You just don't want to. I stop mid-sentence when I see the pain in her eyes. I can't stop. If I do, I'm afraid I won't be able to handle the weight of it all. Vlatka sinks to the ground in a patch that's miraculously unstained with blood. She buries her face in her hands. I have never seen her look so vulnerable. She's so brave and aloof all the time that it's easy to forget the burden she bears. I sit beside her, resting my head on her shoulder. It will be alright. No matter what happens, I'm here. I'll always be here. She caresses my face and slowly takes my hand in hers. I lift my head to see the infinite love in her scarlet eyes. She wonders how she got so lucky having someone like me, but I know that I'm the lucky one. The intensity of her gaze makes me close my eyes and just bask in her presence. Thank you, Sophia. Anything for you. She presses her face into my neck and mumbles something incoherently. What? Sophia? Sophia! Sophia! Why are you shouting? I'm right here. I lift my head to look at her, but instead of a pair of red eyes, I meet one blue eye. Karen? Sophia! Sophia, wake up! Okay, it's a different character. Okay. Vladka's face wavers and disintegrates in like a reflection on water when a stone has been cast. I blink into the gloom, and it takes me some time to remember where I am. Someone is shaking my shoulder, but I just roll over. My eyelids are too heavy, and the blanket is too cozy. Oh, for God's sake! Someone punches my arm. Ouch! Did you have to hit me so hard? Corinne crosses her arms. You didn't wake up when I shook you. What was I supposed to do? I don't know. Bring me breakfast in bed? Besides, why are you waking me up at... I turn to look at the clock on my night table. 5 in the morning? Are you insane? Corinne doesn't flinch. I don't know. You tell me. What? I mean, it was you who said we have to be ready at 5 a.m. for the mission. Shit, the mission. Why didn't you wake me up earlier? She shakes her head in exasperation. You don't pay me enough for this. Oh, shut up. No can do. If I'm going to be your accomplice and wake you up at this ungodly hour, the least you can give me is the right to tease you about it. Oh, drop the act. You love going on these missions. No, I go to these missions to make sure your sorry ass comes back in one piece. So the adrenaline and the new garments have nothing to do with it? Corinne laughs, grabs my clothes and throws them at my bed. Just get ready. I'll wait for you outside. Before I can say anything else, Corinne walks out, her laugh still reverberating in my head. It's a comforting sound that has accompanied me most of my life, although right now it's slightly too loud for my freshly awakened senses. Shit, I'd better get a move on. It's about time. Corinne is leaning on the door of the resistance quarters. She's carrying the same bag as I am and is holding an AK-47. Oh, come on, it didn't take that long. It did if we want to be there on time. Now, let's go. I'm driving. We start walking when a sleepy voice halts us in our tracks. Hello, new person, Mina. Hey, where are you two going? We return to see Mina, Masha's second in command, rubbing her eyes. Mina, what are you doing up this early? I was hungry and then I saw you. Anyway, I might ask you the same. The leader and I have some personal business. Nothing to worry about. Go back to sleep. Sure. Goodbye. I'm sure Masha wouldn't see it that way. Well, Masha doesn't need to find out. And I know we can trust you not to sell us out. Corinne flashes me a smile, making her blush. I suppose it could be our little secret. I knew we could count on you, Mina. You're the best. Now, go back to bed. Mina nods and turns back to the quarters. Corinne catches me grinning and frowns. What? Nothing. Looks like you've got yourself a fan, that's all. I know Corinne well enough to see a subtle blush. Sure, lots of blushes. I can't help it if I have that effect on people. Now let's go. We've wasted enough time as it is. Can you see the guards? Yeah, they're in the same positions from when we scouted. We crouched behind a mound of earth, and Corinne is peering through her binoculars at the research facility we're about to infiltrate. I don't know why she doesn't use a telescope since one of her eyes is covered by a patch. Look, it's the symbolism. You use binoculars. A telescope is like for 18th century pirates to use. And sea captains in general. Yes, it's an eye patch, whatever. Let me see. Use your own binoculars. Wait, now I'm remembering. Does Solid Snake... Wait, no. Big Boss had the eye thing. Wait, did Big Boss have a lost eye in Phantom Pain? No, I think he had both eyes then. He later doesn't have them. Although he uses an eye droid then. So it doesn't really matter if he had both eyes or not. I'm just thinking about things now. Anyway, I'm getting... I get distracted sometimes. Randomly, that's what happens here as well. I forgot them. Well, she was in a rush, so, you know. Of course you did. I'm surprised you remembered to put your pants on. We left in such a hurry. Here, and don't drop them. I peer through the lenses and examine the guards. How much time do we have before they change shifts? Based on reconnaissance, 5 minutes and 17 seconds. We're lucky we got that long, given how hard it was to wake you. Alright. I lower the binoculars and grab my assault rifle. The touch of the cold steel creates a sudden knot in my stomach. There's no room for error here. I silently wish I could have left Carrion out of this. Truth is, I need her, and she knows it. You don't have to do this, you know. The Vampire Prince is my problem. I hate putting others at risk, especially you. Corinne raises a hand. This again? She feigns a yawn to show how tiresome she finds my protests. We've had this conversation a million times. I'm here because I want to be. Besides, I wasn't joking when I said I come on missions to keep you safe. Things around here suck enough without losing you. I keep quiet. There's nothing I could say to persuade her. Deep down, I'm relieved. I would be devastated if she agreed and left me. Okay, enough conversation. It's time. Stick to the plan. I'll distract them, and you wait for my signal to fire. Got it. Be careful, please. When am I not careful? I don't know, the time you lost your eye, probably? Do you want that list chronologically or alphabetically? Alright, little banter. Can't hear you. My smile fades as I watch Corinne through the binoculars. She moves from cover to cover, like a cat clinging to the shadows, always making stealth look so effortless. Without removing my gaze, I insert a magazine and take my safety off, setting my sights on the guard nearest to her. Corinne arrives at the front door, seconds before the guards change position. She lifts her thumb, and I squeeze the trigger. The gun gives a slight kick and the bullet shreds through the cartilage and bone of the guard's right knee. He topples to the ground with a muffled scream. Before the other guard can react, I shoot him in the shin and leap from cover to sprint over to Corinne. I'm not going for kill shots? Okay. She's already gagged and bound them by the time I arrive. Okay. Well, that was rather anticlimactic. It's boring being this good. Sure. Corinne sighs and grabs the guard's keycard. You know, the phrase, may you live in interesting times, is a curse. You know, you don't really want things to be interesting. Because a lot of times, it's not good. Interesting means not good, usually, most of the time. When am I recording this? April 2025. Things are interesting right now. In the law parts. 11th of April 2025 specifically. So, things have happened and are about to happen, but we don't know how they're going to resolve. It's going to be interesting. So, you know, I don't like living in interesting times. I'll tell you that much. Anyway, Corinne sighs and grabs the guard's keycard. Thank you, gentlemen, for your cooperation. This particular wing of the research facility is far enough from the others that nobody would hear it if you screamed, which is exactly why Corinne and I are here. Let's move. Damn, this place is huge. You're right. The map we got from our last mission must be outdated. Corinne stays silent. The only sound is the soft rustling of our map, which she carefully unfolds. The map reveals weaving lines and jumbled shapes, and I can make no method to its madness. It's a research facility, alright. Built module by module. It's almost like they don't want us to know where we're going. Are you sure you're not holding it upside down? That wouldn't really change much. Of course it makes no sense to you. I doubt you'd even glanced at it. I shrug and Corinne shakes her head in annoyance. What would you do without me? Corinne guides us through corridors with ease. We use the keycard to unlock several doors, knocking out a few more guards before reaching the old bunker room. We enter what appears to be an old laboratory. The flickering lights and thick layers of dust that blanket the metal tables speak of its abandonment. Remember what we're here for. Salvage anything we can use, but stay focused on the main objective. Corinne nods. As we search, I find several sets of test tubes filled with a substance that looks like blood, save for its strange ochre color. The tube's discoloration hints that it's been there for a long time. Given the nature of these facilities, it's probably not human blood. The thought makes me shudder. Did you find anything? No, just some strange medical machines I doubt we could get working if we tried. They're nothing like we've seen before. What'd you find? Nothing, just some old notes. Let's keep moving. Good. That room gives me the creeps. Trust me, you weren't the only one. We travel along several more corridors, stopping to scan any rooms for supplies or resources. Our search yields nothing of import, and I begin to grow anxious. Don't worry, we'll find something. The mission's not over yet. You're right. Come on. She pulls me by the arm and holds her keycard up to another door. Same room. But that's fine. We find ourselves in a room full of cabinets and a board covered in diagrams. At the opposite end of the room is a large computer. Computer? Sure. I'll see if this thing still works. You check the cabinets. Got it. This room is similar to the others we've seen, old and untouched. Cobwebs lace the keyboard and monitor. I try, unsuccessfully, to turn it on. Ah, finally forgot something. Corinne holds up a piece of rolled paper. What is it? She hands me the paper and I unravel it. This is exactly what we need, Corinne. You're the best. I re-roll the paper and hug her tightly. We stay like that for a few moments. Hugs are nice. You know what this means, right? Side mission. Okay. Look here. It shows an armory near the room we're looking for. We can stop by both. We might even get double what we came here for. Corinne's eyes shine and I can't help but be just as excited. Getting some new tech, weapons, and various helpful trinkets is always a plus when going on missions with her. I carry a heavy bag loaded with our loot. A couple of AK-47s, an extra ammo belt, a radio transmitter, and a better scope for my old rifle. We are looking for an exit. You should let me carry the bag. I'm stronger than you. Nope, you're the map reader. I refuse to look at that confusing maze any longer than necessary. It makes my eyes go funny. You say it like reading a map is difficult. I mean, it's about knowing where you are at any moment. Once you have that, then is shit. What? Down! Uh-oh. 3 bullets zip through the air, and Corinne and I hit the floor. Our hands cover our heads as the bullets ricochet off the metal walls. Fuck, there weren't supposed to be any guards here. Fuck, this is serious. No shit, serious. Follow me. I run after Corinne, casting backward glances at the guards. At 8 o'clock. I hoist the bag up and sling it over my shoulder, hoping it will act as a shield for any incoming bullets. Okay. I mean, it's got metal things in it, so it would work, I guess. I spin and shoot one of our pursuers in the leg, but never stop running. That's some high accuracy, honestly. Shooting someone in the leg is kind of difficult. His legs keep moving all the time. Look, there's the door. I follow Kareem's gesture, but from the corner of my eye I see the guard I shot in the leg stabilize himself and aim at Kareem's chest. Kareem, watch out! I lunge forward, slamming my body into hers. The bullet grazes her arm instead of thudding into her chest. Ah! Yeah, I'm not in a position to be shouting. Kareem clutches her arm as blood steeps out between her fingers, coloring her sleeve. Are you alright? What kind of question is that? I've been shot. Fucking words. Some words are difficult all of a sudden. It was rhetorical. It's a flesh wound. Don't worry about me. Worry more about the next bullet hitting us in the face or something. She makes light of it, but I can tell from her gritted teeth that it's more than a graze. Use the keycard on the door. Quick! I don't need to be told twice. The card reader beeps. Kareem kicks the door open and we dive through just as a handful of bullets pepper the wall around us. Kareem slams the door behind us and I bring down the butt of my gun on the keycard lock once, twice, 3 times until it dangles loose on a sparkling wire. That should buy us some time. The car is just beyond those trees. We can make it if we want. Run. Words. The little letter R. Wow, you even fucked up saying the word letter. I look at Kareem's red dripping sleeve. It's just a flesh wound. That looks like a lot of blood. A lot of blood that might... No, there was blood before already. They already shot other people. There's a medikit in the car. I can take care of the wound. You looking at it won't stitch it up. With her good arm, she ruffles my hair. A gesture she does regularly to remind me she's taller. You're right. I'm sorry. I sling my rifle over my shoulder and grip the bag tightly. I follow Kareem as the sounds of the guards attempting to break through the door ring out behind us. You're driving. Kareem shouts back over her shoulder. I don't know if it's the adrenaline or the relief that Kareem is okay, but I laugh. Isn't one near-death experience enough for one day? We sneak through the back door of the Resistance headquarters, hoping to avoid attention. But Mosh is waiting like a spider in a web. Where have you been? With her folded arms and beady eyes, it's clear we are in for a reprimand. Her gaze drops to where blood drips from Kareem's cradled arm, and her mouth draws into a thin line. We need to talk. Kareem and I exchange pained looks. Follow me to my office. Now. Okay, chapter 2, Cresteros year 1950. Okay. Perspective change and maybe year change, who knows. Tonight, I come of age. I'm Princess Vlatka Rajvan Zugravescu. Vlatka Rajvan Zugravescu. Future ruler of the vampires. Oh, all vampires. It's okay. Vampires have unionized all over the place. Highly doubtful, honestly. There's... whatever. Maybe. I don't know. I have thoughts about that, but I'm currently incoherent on them right now, so we'll just leave it be. That's a rant for another time, another vampire, so which I bet I have some other visual novel demos in the list that have vampires, no doubt. Probably. I don't know. I don't remember any of them. It's just I go through the Steep query, I see there's a visual novel, it looks interesting at times, there's a demo, okay, add to the list, and then I forget about it for months, maybe even years, who knows. The lights in the ballroom bathe everything in gold, competing with the harsh flashes of light from hundreds of cameras. The overwhelming sound of shutters clicking makes me suppress a shudder. Okay, so vampires are just out in the public. Okay. Showing weakness would not be befitting of a princess. Princess Vlatka, please look at this way. What are your thoughts on your nation's current state of affairs? A nation of vampires, right? Stefania. Pose for the photos, darling. Ugh. A tidal wave of reporters, journalists, and photographers surges forward. I bite my tongue and press a strange smile to my face. I was already infamous and famous to humans and vampires. What's one more photo shoot? Try not to look too cold and emotionless, dear. In all honesty, it's just my regular expression. I've never been good at posing for cameras, and I doubt that'll change anytime soon. Eventually, the flashes stop and the reporters go away. I try to hide my relief as I hear my father approaching. Hello, Count Dracula. Alright, I mean, it was gonna be inevitable that I'm gonna do the... Ladies and gentlemen. That voice, obviously. Before we begin, I would like to thank all of you for attending our beloved princess's 150th birthday. I know it's dumb, but I like doing these voices. I know it's dumb, but I like it. Rounds of applause reach the ballroom's high, arched ceiling, and the band starts playing an elegant, fast-paced melody that urges people to the floor. Please, enjoy the ball. Couples waltz across the polished tiles, moving to the music. Gem-studded dresses mesh with fancy, well-tailored suits. I used to love such a spectacle when I was little. It felt like a fairy tale. Not anymore. I approach a table filled with lustrous desserts and champagne in glass goblets. Perhaps if I hide behind a cake, no one will spot me. Vladka Rajvenzurevushka, what do you think you're doing? I know I fucked up the last name, but look, it's like Polish or something. It's nonsensical to read. I raise my plate, stating the obvious. I'm eating. I know that, darling. What I meant was, why aren't you mingling? There are many lovely gentlemen for you to meet tonight. I try not to cringe at my mother's euphemism for a potential suitor. I thought you and father had decided to handle those lovely gentlemen I'm supposed to meet. We will, but it would still be good for you to meet them now. By myself, wouldn't that cause a scandal? There are plenty of guests here if you were worried about being perceived as dishonorable. Would you prefer your father and I walk with you? They could do all the talking and save me the trouble, but having them at my side putting words in my mouth would be just as bad. No, I'll be fine on my own. Thanks for the offer. Can I at least finish my food before I go? All right, darling, but then you must act the part. She nods and goes away. I take my time to finish the sweet I'm eating and drink my champagne as slowly as I can. Then I take a deep breath. Just as I'm re-entering the ballroom, a sickly sweet voice coos. Lady Albescu. Your Highness, what an honor. It's wonderful to see you. I turn to see the wife of Viscount Albescu, Lady Albescu, bowing before me. She is a petite woman with a big mouth. They say if you want the world to know your business, tell Lady Albescu. Lady Albescu, to what do I owe the pleasure? I just wanted to congratulate you on such a fine celebration and important occasion. Why, thank you. It's not every day the vampire princess turns 150. She laughs as though she said something extremely funny, then clears her throat. I also wanted to introduce my son to you, since I heard you are looking for potential suitors. I'm deeply moved by your generous offer, Lady Albescu. Unfortunately, the custom dictates that the future bride does not handle her own marriage proposals. When the time comes, my mother and father will handle the matter. I'm about to dismiss myself from the conversation when my mother's words ring in my ears. I steel my resolve and tell myself I should at least be seen to be making an effort. Though I am sure they will be delighted with the prospect. Lady Albescu smiles. I'm elated to hear that, Your Highness. Your mother and father must have been thinking about this arrangement for quite some time now. I'm sure you remember my son. Certainly. Alexis, right? Alexei, dear. Alexei. He's just over there. Alexei, sweetheart, come and greet Her Highness. Sweetheart? Is he Mama's boy? A small vampire who can't be more than 100 years old appears from behind Lady Albescu's frilled skirt. Oh, he doesn't even get a sprite, that's how unimportant he is. Greetings, Your Highness! It takes all of my self-control not to do something I might regret later. Besides, it's not Alexei's fault. The poor boy looks terrified. It's a pleasure to meet you, Alexei. How old are you? I'm about to turn 80! He says with such a childish pride that it's almost laughable. A fine age. It was a pleasure to meet you, Alexei, and you too, Lady Albescu. But I have other affairs I must attend to. But, Your Highness... Skedaddle. Now, if you'll excuse me. I dip my head in curtsy and hastily make my way towards a large goblet of wine. Did you see how she treated Lady Albescu? Conceited so-and-so. Vampires whisper behind my back, knowing full well I can hear them. Vampires, like bats, have excellent hearing. This constant blabbering hurts my ears. I wish I could turn their voices down. Even a pretty face can't fix arrogance. I'm about to lose my patience when a familiar voice cuts through the drivel like the sword he likes to wield. Julian. That's an I. Hello, Julian. God, there's so many characters. I have such a limited range of voice. I can't do sprites. Anyway. He looks like an arrogant prick, but they kinda all do. He doesn't matter. This is a lesbian story anyway, so he doesn't matter. You wouldn't just call her a pretty face if you had seen her training. Oh, he does get a full sprite. That is a fancy suit, though. I like the suit. That's nice. The inner lining with the gold is a bit much, but just the pure red one with the... What are those patterns? Are those... They seem kind of random, but they resemble birds or maybe sea creatures. Something like that. That's a neat pattern there. In the inner lining, or whatever it's called. That's neat. The gold bit is a bit much. Oh, I guess it's the same as these. They're just like flower petal things. You know, I'm just gonna go with my first idea and think it's just birds and sea creatures. That's more fun. That's more fun than just like leaves and vines and shit like that, which is fine, but that's boring. It's boring, but it's Victorian era, so that's what it is. That's what it is, but headcanon, it's birds and fish. Fish and birds. There we go. That's what it is. Fucking why not? I see a tall vampire with a glass of what could be blood or wine swirling in his hand. As he walks past, he leans in with a wink and whispers. Focus, princess, you... Interruption. 40 years ago. Okay. Okay. Won't be able to beat me with that kind of attitude. I thrust my blood sword trying to attack Julian's side, but he blocked it with his own blood sword and gave me one of the cocky smiles all the maids fall for. I took one step back to get momentum and lunged with my sword, but he easily dodged aside. Your combat stance needs work. Bend your knees less. I glared at him but followed his advice. Yes, just like that. Try lunging again. I did as he said, and this time managed to almost hit him. Good, good. Now... I thrust this time, and he managed to block it at the last second. The sound of that our swords made when clashing sounded like a victory to me. But he retreated and fainted, making a fake attack that distracted me enough to almost lose my balance. When he was about to strike again, I spread my wings and rose a few feet above the ground, dodging his attack. Hey, that's cheating! It's not cheating, it's using everything I have to my advantage. Yeah, that's correct. You use everything in combat. It's life or death, basically. It's like, Rules of engagement are kind of stupid, conceptually. It's good that they exist, but they're also kind of stupid in practice. You know? They are. That's just how it is. If you're gonna... Yeah, war crimes and everything else, I understand. But whatever. It's not whatever, but whatever. You know? In the moment, life or death matters more than the other shit. This is how it works. Touché! My wings started feeling heavy, so I drifted back to Earth and let them disappear as my feet touched the ground. That's very convenient, having just wings like that appear and disappear. Besides, it's not like I can fly for long periods. Before I saw it coming, Yulin captured my blood sword with his, sweeping it around. I tried not to let the magic disperse, but he was stronger than I was, and I faltered. What do I always tell you about losing focus? He made a final strike, pointing his sword at my heart. If this was a real fight, you'd be... I knew he was right. I'd be dead if this had been real, but something inside me refused to give up. I focused on Yulin's blood sword and wished for it to be mine, to bend it to my will. Yulin watched in shock as his sword disappeared from his hands and appeared in mine. I guess you need a blood sword to kill a vampire? It would be used... Wouldn't it be more useful to have a fusion of this? If you have blood sword, you could just blood bend. Why not have like a metal actual sword to wield? And then blood magic, you know, the blood around that. You get 2 for 1. It's like the Terminator in the 3rd movie. Where it's got the endoskeleton with all doodads and weapons and shit like that, which is a bit of a liability. But also the endo nano machine things with the advantages of being able to mimic and camouflage super perfectly and all kinds of things. Do that. A hybrid. Those are typically, it's risk rewards, but advantages and disadvantages. The blade that was once pointed at my heart now was pointed at his stomach. How? I looked at the sword and smirked, unsure of how I'd manage it, but pleased nonetheless. Ha! Checkmate. How does it feel to... My words trailed off as I saw his expression. He looked as if he had seen a ghost. True, he might not be the most gracious loser, but that wasn't it. Class is dismissed. What? Yulian, wait! But he didn't listen to me and just turned and walked away. What was that? Strike with confidence, know your limits, and most of all, never underestimate your opponents, princess. Now if you'll excuse me, I need to sample some more desserts. Yulin raised his glass and a toast before taking another sip and smoothly intercepting a gaggle of several beautiful vampires. I suppressed a smile, wishing I had his unabashedness. Okay, I need to recover. I'm finding it difficult to concentrate with so many fake pleasantries. I want to talk with my father before I meet the one suitor I dread the most. Mihai. Hello, Mihai. Mihai. Hi. Hi, me. Your Highness, what a pleasure to meet you. Speak of the devil and he shall appear. I winced at the sound of the voice, composed myself and turned with a forced smile. Mihai Stanislav has his usual creepy smirk in place. Lord Stanislav, I had expected your company. Just call me Mihai. Lord Stanislav is my father. Oh, there's no way I would forget that. There's no way anyone would forget that. My apologies. How can I be of service? So cold, Vladka. Since it's clear we'll be spending the rest of our lives together, I thought we should get to know each other a little. Regardless of whether he was a lord's son or not, neglecting my title was blatant disrespect. I beg your pardon? I'm hurt. Here I thought I was the most suited for you. He feigns sadness, and I feel my lips curl in disgust. Fair. That's not something for us to decide. Mihai's carefully crafted expression slips for a second, and an irritated boy stares back at me. He regains his composure and straightens. Running one hand through his hair, he smiles. Well, it's not much of a decision, is it? My father's power many could only dream about. Together, our realm would be formidable. Mihai smiles eagerly at my silence, interpreting it as consent. He sidles close to me, rubbing my arm and looking down at me. Like I mentioned, why don't we get to know one another? He looks at me from head to toe in a way that makes me want to throw up. Fair enough. Spend some quality time together. I mean, just punch him already. Maybe another time. I have other guests to tend to. I turn in an attempt to keep him from seeing the anger in my eyes. Mihai is an arrogant, power-hungry manipulator following in the footsteps of his father. He grips my wrist with painful force and whirls me around. While no words pass between us, my unchecked rage is evident. Mihai grits his teeth. I wasn't finished with my proposal, Vlatka. Do you treat all your guests with this little appreciation? Seems like you'll have to work on your manners. I bite my tongue before I say something my parents will make me regret later. Thinking of them makes me remember what I wanted to do in the first place. I would like to speak to my father, so if you'll excuse me. I don't think that's possible. And why not? Because our fathers are busy right now. They are speaking in private. Is that so? Well, I'll look for my mother instead. My words seem to confuse Mihai, and I use that second to slip out of his grasp and escape. I walk as quickly as I can without drawing attention and exit the ballroom. The truth is, I lied to Mihai. I'm not going to search for my mother. I'm going to find out what exactly my father and the leader of the Elder Council are talking about. Use your vampire powers to eavesdrop on them. I walk to where father usually has his meetings and hope for the best. However, I didn't expect the west wing's door to be flanked by 2 guards. I hide behind a statue, surveying them. I bite my lip, eyes narrowed. Oh, come on, just go away. They won't, they have duties. I mutter under my breath. Hey, weren't we supposed to guard the other wing? Oh shit, you're right, let's get moving. Oh. Yeah, vampire. She's got hypnotic suggestions and shit like that. You got magic powers. You're a princess. You got magic powers, Vlatka. Powers of suggestion. And mind, yeah, right. Manipulation, mental things like, yeah, okay. I'm kind of seeing where this might be going. At least one part of it. I blink, unable to believe my good luck, and I barely have time to duck behind the statue as they pass. Oh, they won't. If you think I don't want them to see me, they won't see you even if you stand in front of them. I arrive at the end of the main hall without being caught, when I hear the council leader, Lord Stanislav's voice, as well as my father's, coming from a closed room. I peer through the keyhole. Within, no lanterns or torches are lit, but silver light from the full moon dully illuminates 2 figures facing each other. I could only see my father's back as he spoke. Stanislav, I'm the figure who rules this country. You had no right to do something so extreme without consulting me. These people were my subjects. You spilled blood in my name. You slaughtered innocents. They're gonna have the same voice. Look, they're just gonna have the same voice. And we're just gonna have to live with that. Oh, a little contrast there as well. White hair, black suit. Black hair, white suit. Okay. Red tie, blue thing. Gem thing. And red rose. Red rose for good measure. He's got a cane, he has a cane. Red cane. What his name was? Garridan? His cane is fancier, I like that. That's fancier than this little thing. Anyway, I do like the white suit in this though. This like a Navy Admiral's suit. I'm thinking it's Navy Admiral because of like what was it? One Piece, I think, with the one Admiral guy who had basically the same kind of getup. I mean, it's a good getup. It looks good. With the sleeves fluttering in the wind like that, it's cool. It's a cool look. It's a cool suit like that. I'd never heard my father so angry. Ever soft-hearted and naive, Garden. I guess I'm gonna go thicker. What did you say to me? Rebellious threatened the established order. Rebellions, even. Their hands were tainted with betrayal and the use of human weapons. They were traitors. Oh yeah, right. Wouldn't human weapons, like, eventually just outclass vampire powers? Because, like, I mean, sure, vampires need to be killed in certain ways, but, like, come on, I'm sure a tactical, like, okay, maybe not. Well, yeah, nuke would do it. It should. Or, like, even just a ballistic missile. Or just, like, a tank shell. Blow off your fucking head like that. You know? Yeah, arrows and swords and shit like that, regular ones from back in medieval era, probably don't do shit to vampires, but, like, we have fucking anti-material rifles, and we have lasers now as well. Like, come on. You know what happens to traitors. We make them disappear. Punishing traitors is one thing, but this was mass murder. Nothing justifies genocide. Rebels or not, they were still my subjects. You cannot take extremist measures without consulting me first. Consult you? Yes, Stanislav. Stanislav's disturbing laugh fills the room, cold enough to chill the blood in my veins. He takes us. I like doing that laugh. It's fun to do that laugh. He takes a step forward toward my father. Let's be transparent, Garden. We've been hiding our hands the entire game, and it's time to have a little fun. Never forget, you might be a king on the table, but at the end of the day, I'm the dealer. It has been like this since your father was king, and will be like this forever. I see my father clench his fists. It pains me seeing him this helpless. I won't allow you to continue abusing your power. It's clear your place on the Elder Council was too much for you to handle. You won't allow me? What interesting phrasing for a man with no real power. Does the puppet not allow its master to pull its strings? No. Just like a puppet, you have no authority. You're a weak man without a resolve to rule. Thankfully, the princess takes far more after her mother than you. She's more fit to rule than you ever were. I wonder if she'll be just as easy to manipulate. Ah, she's got manipulation powers of herself, dude. It won't be so easy. Lay a finger on my daughter, and I swear. Lord Stanislav laughs again, and he puts one finger on my father's chest. Relax, Garden. I'm not stupid enough to gamble away the Elder's most important asset, and, dare I say, my future daughter-in-law. She'll be treated with respect. If she cooperates with us. She's too young to. Lord Stanislav took a step back and made a wave with his fan as if trying to make light of it. Of course, I'm not talking about the present. I'm not a monster. I'm talking about the future. She's the ace up the Elder's sleeve. He pauses and a predator's smile appears on his lips. And what if you're wrong? What if she isn't the one from the prophecy? You'll cast her aside. Oh, fucking prophecies. That's boring. That's a bit boring. I hate prophecies. They're always so just boring as fuck, honestly. The prophecy. Oh, of course I've heard of the prophecy. Everyone has, but what the hell has that to do with me? Time will tell on that, old friend. Time will tell. Just because she isn't showing the signs yet doesn't mean she isn't the one. That's instantly to make story fucking boring to me. Prophecy and the one, the chosen. It's so fucking boring. I hate that, honestly. I just don't like that. Oh well. But she is. We already saw an example of that. Or just two examples, even 40 years ago and now with the guards. We need to watch for them. Be ready to act and keep her in check. Oh, it's too late for that now. The progenitor's heir will be a double-edged blade. We need to wield it with caution. You already lost, dude. The one? The progenitor's heir? Me? Impossible. But the mere fact they are talking about makes my head spin. Suddenly I feel faint. I take a step back, lose my footing and collapse on the hard marble floor. Oops. And that's the end of the demo. Thank you for playing. We will reach the end of the demo. Okay. Sure. Maybe. I thought the demo good or bad. We want the release to be absolutely perfect. Like, once again, thank you so much for playing. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Okay. So, it's fine. It seems fine. The end bit with the prophecy bullshit is a bit of a downer, but like ignoring that, it's fine. Story characterization is... There's not enough for me to make a conclusion, honestly. It's just fine. So I don't know. I didn't get enough personality interactions. That's the thing, I didn't get enough of those to make a good judgment. So I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I guess not, ultimately. Like, just to make a decision, I'm not gonna mull over these things too much. I guess not. Besides, I literally already have 100 things on the list anyway. So this one, it's fine, but not for me. Anyway, that's that. Goodbye.